Welcome to Land Academy. I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit.
We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth.
And sell it on the internet really fast.
We are Jack and Jill,
and this is the Jack and Jill Show too.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property.
Of all kinds, not just land.
For half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala with Jill DeWit.
Happy Tuesday.
Welcome to our show today. In this episode, Jill and I talk about back tax offering mailing nightmare. Back tax offer mailing nightmare, I should say. Mm-hmm. Great topic, Jill. This is, if you listened to the show yesterday, it's Jill Week.
It's Jill Rant Week, day 2.
These are topics that come up, I guess. Well, we'll get into it in a second. Before we do, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landacademy.com online community. It's free.
Okay. Luke asked, how do I create easements? Can I just write up my own easement on the deeds to give access to the back lot across the front lot, of which I own both? Love this. This is such a good question. We talked about this on our member call the other day.
I got to tell you, Princess, I'm reading something different.
Oh. Well, that's very interesting.
How about I read it?
Okay, what are you reading?
I think our producer snuck some stuff in at the last minute, which
very
I love.
Interesting.
Luke asks, what are your thoughts on improvements? I mailed 0% improvement properties, but I got a few signed offers on properties that do have minor improvements, as it turns out. Is this beneficial? Well, this is a fantastic question, as well as the other Luke question, which might be coming up later. I'm guessing it's coming up later in the week. Mm-hmm. So 0%. So here's how it works. When you pull data correctly, you don't use a list. We talked about it yesterday. When you pull it from an assessor aggregator, what happens is you are going to look at, there's several columns that you really want to pay attention to. And one is improvement value or improvement assessed value. So there's land assessed value, right? And then there's the improvements like the house or the roads or however the property is improved. Both of those things make up the total property assessed value. And that's how the assessor sets the tax rates. So it also gives you a real good indication. The assessor does a ton of work for you, by the way, for free. It's a great indication about how much you should offer for the property. Not the actual dollar amount, but its relativity to the other properties in your group of mailing. It's not that hard, believe me. So what he's asking is, he mailed a 0% improvement property. To me, that means it's just land. It's raw land, vacant land. It hasn't been improved yet. And he said he got a few signed offers, but some of them have improvements on them. And here's what happens, especially west of the Mississippi. People build stuff, and they don't tell anybody about it. They never pull permits. Mm-hmm. The assessor's looking at it like it's just a piece of land.
Really?
They break the rules?
Who would do that? Oh, no. Just kidding.
You know, one of Jill has a few middle names, and one of them is Workaround.
Oh, totally.
So I've seen Jill build stuff and never tell the county about it at all.
Oh, shoot. How the heck did that get there? I have no idea.
She doesn't actually build it herself. She yells at the guys who are building it for her.
Make it happen.
So in the end, look, that's really what I think's going on here. The assessor just doesn't know about it, so he thinks it's land, or he or she thinks it's land, and that's great.
Yeah, you win.
You do win. So, but now... I had a consulting call about a month ago with a guy who's from a very far eastern part of the country, and he's bought some property on the west and did the research and found out there's a structure on it and flipped his lid. Mm. And why would you flip your lid, Jill, about this? Why would this be a bad thing?
Well, I mean, if you now you're responsible for it, I guess you do need to get it taken care of and
permitted,
the right way. If you go to sell and but
probably if you're in New York City,
or you're an insurance person,
or a bunch of things, this is a problem.
Yeah,
this is not a problem. So it was funny. He was really worried about it. Oh, how much is it going to cost? I got to fix this.
Got to haul it off.
What if somebody lives there? I got to evict. All this, all this negative East Coast crap. It's really funny. It cracks me up.
We're pretty.
If you've listened to any other episode of this program, you know how I feel about New York. Mm-hmm. We have a website called Deed Perfect, and we have exactly 49 deeds on there, not 50. Guess which one is 50?
Yeah.
Guess which one will never be on there?
Right. Problem. That's a problem.
If you have a question or you want to be on the show, reach out to either one of us on landacademy.com. Today's topic, and this is the meat of the show, back tax offer mailing nightmare.
Well, I sure hope I have the right topic here.
Jill?
I realized what happened now. I went back and looked, and our producer had cut and pasted some stuff, and then she hadn't updated my version yet.
Yeah.
So we're all good.
That's okay.
It's cool.
So let me set this up because this is Jill Week. These are Jill Rant. Jill Rant Week. She wrote all these topics. I love it.
Thank you.
I'm just a guest on the show, and I love that. When you mail offers to people who own property, you have lots of choices. And how you do that, the data you use, the mail company that you use, all that stuff is those are little key points along the way to make you successful. One of the things that Jill and I see over and over and over again, and is people sending mail out to a specialty group, to a special group of people, right? Maybe there's back tax property.
Sounds like special needs.
Well, I was going to bring that up, but I'm not.
Okay, sorry.
So there's in any given county, there's a bunch of property that's got back taxes associated with it. In any given county, there's a bunch of property that is in the foreclosure process, maybe through lenders. Maybe it's in any given county, there's a group of property that is in some form of going through an estate because somebody passed away. So there's lots of specializations you can choose. Here's my takeaway, and here's the takeaway. Don't specialize. Send everybody an offer. Mm-hmm. Send everybody an offer that's in the group, in the universe. Use the assessed value to determine who you're going to send an offer to. Not this. Take it away, Jill.
That's my solution also. So here's my points here on this. Number one, this also came from a member, like a new member call recently, and I don't understand why this concept.
That's what these shows are about.
So it is.
People call you, and they say, "Well, why don't I do this?
Well,
why don't you guys do it this way?" That's what this rant is all about.
It is
this week.
And
I love
here's
this.
my whole point is why
you're the girl for me.
Thank you. Why is this concept so hard to reverse? You know, it's like we've all moved ahead in so many ways. We all have cell phones. We all trust the internet now. You know what I mean? Come on.
Why can't we get over back tax property?
But why can't we get over some of these really old ingrained theories that don't make sense, and they've been tested and tested and tested, and they don't make any sense? So that's number one. I don't understand why this concept is so hard to reverse. So many problems can be found in these back tax properties. There's a reason, there's very often a reason why that property is in that messy state. Do you really think that you're the only one that spotted that little gem that's all boarded up on this street on Oak Avenue in this beautiful little town with all the trees? Do you think you're the first person that's come along and tried to do that? I hate to tell you, you're probably not, and there's a reason why it's in that situation. It's boarded up. It's been that way for probably years, and it's behind on the taxes. So like Jack said, my solution is also mail to them all. I joke and I say I don't discriminate, which means I don't discriminate whether you're current on your taxes or not current on your taxes. If your property meets my criteria, you're gonna get a letter, period. And then
data criteria, by the way.
Yeah,
we don't look at the property. You only look at the property after they sign the offer. Mm-hmm. And then you decide if you want to do it.
Exactly. Sorry, I lost my little train of thought here, but you get the concept. It's so interesting to me. That's what I was going to say. So many of the properties that we buy and my team picks up and we purchase, they are current on their taxes. You would be surprised how many people out there. Yeah. They are current on their taxes. They are thrilled to get an offer from me. They had no idea they could not pay their taxes. And they've been, paying them all these years, just kind of hoping to sell. They thought that, some people have this conception that, gosh, if I don't pay my taxes, I'm going to lose the property, or it's going to be a ding on my credit report. I mean, there's all kinds of things that people think will happen, and so they're paying their taxes.
So I want you to visualize this, whatever you're doing right now. Visualize this with me. 2 identical houses in a good neighborhood. You're staring at them both, right? You're standing at the curb staring at 2 houses. I'm going to use how we specialize in land, and the show's all about land, but we buy houses too. We buy anything that's super cheap. So you're standing at the curb looking at these 2 houses. One's fallen down. Maybe it's got a notice on it. And one's just kept up pristine and perfect. But the owner just died. You send an offer to both of these houses. You don't ever look at the house. You don't ever drive for dollars or anything like that. You see the 2 lines of data in the assessor's database, and they're both assessed at the same amount. They're assessed for, let's say, $42,000. And the address is 123 Main Street and 124 Main Street. You send them both an offer for $100,000 because you think the house is probably, you did your homework and the house is worth $180, and you'll buy it for $100, $110 and mark it up and sell it to a wholesaler. There's just as much likelihood that the pristine house where the owner just passed away and the kids are working out the estate are going to sign the offer and send it back. In fact, in my opinion, and I know Jill's going to get to this, there's but there's a better chance of that than the one that's fallen down. If the one that's fallen down's got back taxes and all kinds of other problems, you want to incur all the costs to clean it up and all that? No. What you're looking for is a situation, and you found it. You send 2 letters out. One person passed away. It's perfect timing. They call you and they sign it, and they send it back, and you close the deal. Now, if you send thousands and thousands and thousands of letters out like we do, your percentages go up, right? You're looking for a situation, not a piece of property. And you shouldn't discriminate. You're right, Jill. You can't tell. Back tax, properties that have associated back taxes have other associated problems.
And the only times I've ever heard of people ever talk about, gosh, I talked to this guy and he got a letter from somebody else, 3 weeks ago. That's the situation. That's the only time that I've ever heard that, is people focusing on the wrong properties. And then, heaven forbid, you follow through. I've heard whole people call me and said, help, can you get me out of this pickle now? I made an offer to the guy. The guy accepted it. I'm about to do it. And I just found out it has $2,000 in back taxes. Now it's not worth my time. And I hate to say it, but I'm like, you needed to do your homework, and you probably should, that can happen.
Here's the truth of it in pure data and here in numbers. If you send 4,000 letters out to back tax property, you're going to get a ton of response. All right, but you're going to buy very few. Yep. If you send 4,000 letters out to just regular, you don't discriminate. Like Jill said, you're going to get in land. You're going to buy 1%. So, ours is closer to 5, but we always use 1% to set your expectations low. But they're going to be great deals. You already set the offer in there. They're going to be smoking deals. Would you rather talk to 7 million people and do 2 or 3 deals? Or would you rather talk to the people that signed the damn thing and sent it back to you?
Right.
You're setting yourself up to fail with this back tax business.
Yep. Well, I was just thinking about...
How do I know this? Because I failed at it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm just thinking about our members. We just had we all know the Luke Smith story, and he just did a podcast with us last week. And he was going on about that, about now he's really getting strategic and picky and with his offers and what he's coming in at. You think that Luke's focusing on back tax property? Heck no. He is strategically hitting a market and hitting them all.
Yeah, we interviewed, he's a member. He's one of our members. He was one of our first members. And if you haven't heard the show, go back and listen to it. It's a lengthy show.
Like last Thursday.
But he really sits down and totally explains to us why he's so successful at this.
Right.
50 or 60 units a month he sells, buys and sells.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I did the math on those.
He's clearing some money.
Yeah, he is.
Multiply that times $5,000 margin per unit average.
Yeah, that's a pretty good monthly income.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You know what he spends every month? $250. That's our fee,
right.
Our subscription fee. And we don't make any money on that.
Mm-mm.
We do it because, to provide the tools to people who need them. That's all he spends with us.
Well, and that's that's so interesting, because when we set out to do this too,
That's what everybody spends, by the way.
wasn't our focus. It just, our members came to us and said, "Hey, can you help us out? We need access to the same tools you guys have."
We went to RealQuest.
So funny.
This is not a sales pitch. We went to RealQuest and said, we've sent millions and millions. We spent just almost $1 million on data with you over the years. We would like to be a licensed provider and help some other people do it too. And they said, oh my God, that's a good idea. Here you go.
Yep.
So they made us licensed providers. So we charge our members really, in the end, a nominal fee to access this stuff. It's way cheaper than if you went to get it yourself. Mm-hmm. Way cheaper. Exactly. We're about to release a product, hasn't been released yet, called Offers to Owners. It's offerstoowners.com, the number 2. And it's going to cut that price even further. If you don't need all the education and you don't want to be on the calls and you don't really want to be a part of Land Academy, which I understand. A lot of house flippers call us and they say, hey, this isn't really my thing. I wholesale houses and stuff. Do you have a product where I can just access the database and hook me up with a good discount printer that's made for this? So that in response to that, I created offerstoowners.com, and we haven't released it yet, but the subscription number is cheaper, and the data's the same, and the mailing's really cheap too.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be awesome.
Land Academy members get it for free, but it's not a commercial. I'm just saying, if you're going to do this, you need the right tools.
Do it right. Just don't mess around.
Do it through us. It's cheaper than going right to the source.
That's my whole thing. You know what? The whole thing and why Jack and I are here and doing this whole show is to save you. We have made all these mistakes. You don't think that we haven't thought of that? Oh, sure. Do you think we tested that? Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
we're qualified to say this stuff. We screwed it all up.
Totally. Now, since 1999, I think, we figured out a few things. Just a few.
That's why we can talk about relationships, too, because we've screwed them all
Boy,
up.
we screwed that up.
Cash flow from relationships. No, that's a new show called, Jill.
Oh, my gosh.
Lose money with past relationships.
What the?
How to screw up your relationships.com really fast.
Oh my goodness.
Find the right girl. Trust me, it's worth it.
Thank you. On that note, join us in another episode.
Oh, look, Jill ended it.
Jack and Jill discuss how to use information, that's Jack, and
inspiration, that's Jill,
to get just about anything you want.
We use it every day to buy property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You are not alone in all of these ambitions.
Can I tell you how much I love when you rant? It happens so infrequently, and it comes from your gut, man.
Oh, boy.
I mean, example after example. I was thinking last show, yesterday we read a nice email from somebody. We should get in the habit of doing that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We get so many of them.
That is a good idea. We should at least once a week share those.
Yeah.
It was good.
I mean, do you have any more immediately?
No, I gotta dig.
We could do it tomorrow, maybe.
I could do one tomorrow. I'll have one queued up for tomorrow. But thank you for saying that. What's really funny is our members on our weekly call, because there's been a few times when people have messed with my people and Mama Bear comes out and I don't mess around. I take care of our people.
I had to let somebody out, ask them not so nicely to
exit our group.
And I
not play because they weren't playing nicely.
Refunded their money and I said, I think we're going to part ways now.
I like your idea. We might go to an interview process.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
If you would like to join this group or get involved with us in any way, and you're an idiot and a mean person, please just stop thinking about it.
We have a really tight group.
We work really hard here.
We work together.
We make a ton of money. I added it up. This group is now generating more than $1 million net a month.
I believe it. Yep.
Actually, it's a lot more.
It's a lot more.
I feel super safe saying $1 million. This is a year old.
Yeah.
I feel super safe in saying $1 million. That excludes what you and I make.
Exactly.
And we're kicking it. So.
Right.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. And you're not alone in your real estate ambition.
We are Jack and Jill, and this was the Cash Flow from Land Show.
We're the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land.
for half price, just so we can flip it for way more.
And really fast. Thanks for listening.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.